What's up, guys? So another box opening today. Today is Friday or Saturday. Let's jump right into it. We got a small package here. Cut right in. And what we have here is another valve guide reamer. Different size. This one's for a custom valve stem that we're going to be running in a Predator 212 build that I'm doing. It's going to be a custom foray valve. Valves are on order, so I just went ahead and ordered the valve guide reamer. Going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that build. A couple of the builds I've been doing lately have kind of been like top secret. I don't know, maybe as long as I don't disclose everything like I never really do, but valve guide reamer there. Get into this box here from NR Racing. Alright. Got a packing slip. It's a trusty dusty sticker. Must have 50,000 of those. See what we got in here. Okay, this is cool. This here is a valve spring seat pocket cutter. This cuts the valve seat pockets for the valve springs. This is necessary especially in the Hemi heads, so you can run the bigger springs and you can run higher lift. You can get longer valves like the 130s, plus 130s, 3228. We're going to be running in a build that I got going on. So 3228, cut the spring pockets and put some big springs in there. You make a lot of power with the Hemi head. By doing it that way. So this is a valve spring seat pocket cutter. Pretty cool. It's got a guide on it and it cuts the spring pocket down and wider. Especially helpful in, like I said, the Hemi heads. Also in a head, if you have a certain length spring and valve, if you have a certain length valve and you need to get more lift out of it, you can just cut some of the spring pocket down to run more lift, so you don't coil bind. So that's a cool thing, cool tool to have. I'm really glad I picked that up. Some of these things are just so expensive, it's crazy. Alright, these are some GX200. These are the flywheel nuts sent to me from a customer for his build. So we got those here. Armin, those are your flywheel nuts. This is guy Norman. He had sent me his insulator, some carburetor gaskets, the carburetor studs, and I got those outside. He's got a cylinder head here. This cylinder head. Pretty good cylinder head, actually. Got this cylinder head here for him. This is actually stock appearing with the stock carburetor. So he's actually running the it's a 630 stock bore, 0.630 stock bore. He's gonna be running a board stock carburetor 0.680, really small carburetor. So a lot of tricks had to go into this cylinder head to get this thing proper for that build. Honestly, some of the more challenging cylinder heads are the kart racing cylinder heads that actually, pick up. When you think of a stock appearing cylinder head, and you think about porting it, and you got this little carburetor, by going into those and opening them up like you would normally in a normal port, you actually do a lot of damage to that cylinder head flow. really screws with the port and what's going on in there. So I mean, there's a lot more work to be done actually on stock repairing cylinder heads. I love them. That's kind of, you know, with the flow bench and the velocity probe. You know, I can nail any cylinder head. So you know, the guys that do the kart racing, I get tons of them. I'm getting tons of feedback from my guys that I got sponsored out there. I mean, these guys are just absolutely killing it. Setting fastest lap records week after week, besting themselves week after week. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. Winner's circle. I'm just getting all these pictures all the time. Just guys just, you know, going crazy. So here we got another box opening. We got large bore drill bit set. I was in need of this. So I picked up a good one. This here is hope this is, yeah. So these are cobalt bits, and up to a 1 inch. You know, this is a big drill bit. 1 inch, 5/16, 7/8, 13/16, 3/4, 11/16, 5/8, and 9/16. So yeah, this is just a really solid big drill bit set of the round bits, not the paddle bits or the Foster type bits. Just some solid drill bits. Needed that. Glad to have that. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we got one more big box over here. This is actually for me. This is a GX390 build, guys. I'm actually going to be rebuilding my engine. That engine that I've had sitting on that stand ever since the competition, late November. Yeah, that engine's getting rebuilt. So here is the cylinder head. So it's got the studs on it, carb bolts on it, even has a gasket on it, heat shield on it. And what I'm going to be doing in here, so the cylinder head that I was running on that last engine was built for the competition, was built for the cam that was in it. Tell you the truth, I just tore it out of that block and did an inspection on it. All the parts made it. That block that I have all that money invested in is toast. Because of the piston, the total seal rings, the gas porting and all that stuff, and running that nitromethane, you know, if I take my dial bore caliper and go at the very top of the bore, it's perfect where it's supposed to be. About a 1/2 inch down, it starts to 1.5 inches down. There's this rub mark on the bore, and in that mark it drops down. It's 5 thousandths bigger there. So piston to bore, actual space in that area, it's 5 thousandths plus the 2.5 thousandths. So it's actually 7.5 thousandths in that area, which to me, in the type of engines I build, is unacceptable. I've heard of guys having 15 thousandths piston to bore clearance, running them, having no problem. I'm sure that engine would have started and ran fine. I probably could just take it and hone it out and straighten it and just run it. But, you know, with the level that I want to be running at, I've already ordered a new block. The problem is with the compression height I run on the piston, my custom piston, it has a 9.9 compression height, and you know, most of the pistons are 1.1 that are like 10 thousandths oversized. So I can't find a 10 thousandths oversized 9.9 compression height flat top billet piston. If anybody out there has a 9.9 compression height flat top 92 millimeter billet piston, please notify me. I'm kind of looking for one. I need one. Also, if anybody's got any big Tilliston carburetors, I might be looking for one of those. So leave me some messages if anybody's got anything like that, or if anybody has any cool big block parts they're trying to get rid of. You know, any type of billet cranks, anything like that. I might end up just doing in the whole entire another build. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be the start to it. Valve train I'm going to be running is going to be a 43 millimeter. The other head out of 42 is going to be a 43 millimeter intake valve. Exhaust valve is going to be a 45. It's going to have bronze guide 6 millimeter stems instead of the 6.5, but I'm going to have to move the guides. Is this head used? This is a used head. Look inside there. This shit has been run. Hold on, let me get a light. That is crazy. I just noticed that. Look at this cylinder head. Look inside that port. This shit. See this one how clean it is? Look at this, it's black. Look inside that exhaust port. It's just black and dirty. This is how a clean port would look. Look how dirty this port is. What the hell? That is crazy. That is crazy. He sent me some crusty ass used. Look at my finger all dirty. Just from rubbing it. Who sells a used cylinder head as a brand new cylinder head? I was kind of wondering why it had a gasket on it. And look, it even has a spring seat in it. What the heck? That is crazy. TG2. Yeah, this must be a like a new takeoff of something. I have no clue. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be running a 43 and a 35 valve, overlapping seats. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be the biggest valves I could fit. It'll only fit with a 92 millimeter piston. Also, I'm thinking about selling the head that came off the competition engine. It's fully welded inside and out. The entire center of the head is full of aluminum. Like in here, it's all been completely cast aluminum has been poured in there, welded. It's got an intake on it that's it's 34 millimeter all the way through to the back of the valve. Flows 172 CFM documented, and yeah, I mean the port's amazing. It was worked on a flow bench for 2 months. That's the head. That's before I had a flow bench. I was actually bringing it and paying it. Yeah, I mean around the intake, it's all epoxied. Thing's really solid. That cylinder head made 62 horsepower, 60 plus horsepower. And you know, if someone makes me the right offer, I'll sell it along with the block too. If anyone needs a 92 millimeter block, I can bore it out to 92 0.25 millimeter, like the 10 thousandths over piston. But the crank I have, the rod I have, the piston I have, I mean, I would have to change everything. If somebody already has a 1.1 compression height setup, like the piston and everything, or if you're gonna start a build, I'll show you the block. So this here, this is the block here. Dent my new cylinder. Let me get that out of the way. So this is the block. It's got all the side welded down here, up here, all along the top. It's been welded with the big heavy spine. It's pretty. It's a really nice block. It's basically all polished. It's got, you know, you can see yourself. You can see. Look down here, my thumb. This is a really nice block. The only thing is that, you know, it has to be brought out to 10 thousandths over 92 millimeter piston. They are available, but I would have to replace everything, my crank, my piston, my rod, to get the 1.1 compression height piston that would fit it. It's got the block vents in it. Everything's all set up, ready to go. If you want to make me an offer on the block, if you want to make me an offer on the block and the head, and then you could just put your crank in it, your rod and your piston, but everything's here, it's ready to go. I can bring it to 92 10 thousandths out, true. I could run the dial bore gauge down it and true it out with the rigid hone that I got. Make me an offer, let me know. But this is Paul from Paul's Karts. Got some cool stuff in the valve seat, spring pocket cutter, big huge drill bit set, my new cylinder head that's going to be going on the mini bike for the summer, for the high horsepower mini bike big block build that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to go for the record. Don't know how that's going to work out, but we're going to have a great time. A lot of videos coming up about that. Ordered the block a few days ago. It should be here pretty soon. We're going to get that build right underway. I don't know if I'm going to weld that block and go that route and do all of that at this point. Because, you know, when I had this block welded, you know, you could see the videos. I had to bring it down, have it, you know, line honed, and had the bore straightened and all of that. I mean, I got like probably $700 into this block right here. It's just insane. And so much time. I mean, I probably spent a week polishing this thing. It's a really good block. I mean, this thing held all that power and like a champ. And lived to fight another day. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing another build. You know, different guts, different cam, different head, all set up, because this was built to run on a dyno with the cam and everything it had. So I'm going to be building a different build specifically to go after the mini bike Wrecked, cast head, cast block. I don't think I'm going to weld that block. I think I'm just going to throw my guts into it and just see what because I'm not going to be on nitro. The reason I welded this block was I was on nitro. I'm just going to be on methanol. You know, I'm going to be running high compression methanol, so it should be all right. Should be a rocket ship, should be all right. I mean, if the block breaks, the block breaks. You know, I just at this point don't have the time with all the builds that I have going on to really do anything myself. I took a couple hours, you know, and just busted this block down yesterday, just to or 2 days ago rather, just to, you know, see what I was going to need to do. Turns out it's basically going to be just swap the block out, and then I'll probably just resize this 10 thousandths over and see if someone wants to buy it. If not, I'll just put it to the side until I'm going to do another build, and then I'll just build a 10 thousandths over 92 millimeter piston setup. But anyhow, just rambling on here. Paul from Paul's Karts. Till next time, you guys have a nice day.